Sunday night, people. How's it going? So, we're having some fun now, baby. We are having some fun now. So, the saga continues. Am I is my community sort of the capital of the art world, right? Is it a capital of art, or is it an anti-Semitic crap hole? That is what we will be. That is what we will be exploring. So this is the mural, right? So this is a metro line. This is a L line that goes from a west suburb directly into Chicago and almost touches the lake. So if we were to take a look at the map, it would look something like this. Okay, so we're going to go bing, and we're going to go bing. Oops. Hey, man. I'm kind of in the cul-de-sac. Let's come out there. So I want to be here. Come on. You can do it. I know you can do it. There we go. Patience, patience. Okay, there we go. So here we are. And so here is this train line, and it goes west to east. All right. And right here is, I didn't realize this when I made the proposal, but this is the Shabbat Center. Okay. So I'm walking by that mural space, right? And I almost trip over this like 10-foot menorah. It's this huge menorah. I'm like, what the heck? And so it was Passover. So I walk into the building here, and there's this huge menorah literally reaching up all the way up to almost like the windows here. And I was like, hey, how's it going? They were like, may we help you, sir? And I was like, I'm not sure. And they said, would you like to speak to the rabbi? And I was like, well, why not? Yes. So I met with the rabbi, and I said, Rabbi, I'm doing this proposal, and this is a idea of using the face of Marlene Dietrich to talk about all the things that are sort of happening today. Winston Churchill said, the farther you look back, the easier it is to predict the future. And so with Marlene Dietrich, like, she was the first gender bender, sort of gender bender persona, she was just like this icon of her time. She fought fearlessly, entertaining the troops. She was at the front lines, bombs going off, hiding in foxholes. She donated all of the proceeds to one of her movies, $450,000, to help Jewish immigrate from war-torn Europe to the United States. She was an immigrant herself. And so when you talk about a strong, courageous woman, trans rights, right? Gender bending, sort of inclusion, immigration, all of these things is sort of wrapped up in the life of this movie star. And so here are all I make the DEI Express. She was the original. She was the OG of DEI. You know what I'm saying? And so, in France this year, while America sort of went more conservative and struck down the federal oversight of Roe versus Wade. So now that the abortion question, the pro-choice, pro-life discussion moves to the states, France did the opposite move. All right, so they enshrined a woman's right to choose in the Constitution. Okay, so whether you're on whatever side of the debate you're on when it comes to abortion, that's what we did. That's what France did. And so they lit up the Eiffel Tower in March of this year with My Body, My Choice. And Dietrich, Marlene Dietrich, sort of is the epitome of my body, my choice. Right? But she was rejected. That's right. She was rejected. My proposal was rejected. And so it said, thank you for submitting. There were just so many submissions. It says it was very difficult. There has been significant interest in the project and a very difficult time selecting. Of course they did. I'm sure there were just a tremendous avalanche of amazing art, and that mine was just, there were just so many other offerings that were just so much better that my offering was not up to par. And so this is actually a very sort of when it comes to the art world, okay, getting rejected is almost like, in the old days, you used to have to take a fall for the mob. You remember, right before you could get a chance at the title? The Bryce on Wilson, you should have looked out for me, Charlie. You should have looked out. I could have been a contender instead of a bum, which is what I am, Charlie. One-way ticket to Palookaville. So in the art world, you almost have to get rejected. Picasso was rejected. All the Impressionists were rejected. Musée d'Orsay is the museum of the artists who were rejected by the French salons. So by getting rejected, it's a tremendous leverage point in the story. So other cities like New York, Paris, Tokyo, you name an art center, they can position themselves. Well, your podunk little crap hole village, we got to get some laughs. They don't know what they're talking about. Your work is really powerful, and so we're going to show your little hometown. A place like New York or Paris will obviously accept you with open arms, and I'm getting that sort of vibe already as I'm reaching out and talking to people. So at any rate, so I'm going to, but still, I don't want this is my hometown. I don't want my hometown to be saddled with this sort of image of them being these backward sort of anti-Semitic, bunch of mouth-breathing knuckle draggers. That would not be cool. So I'm going to appeal the decision, because I went and I saw the rabbi. I showed him the artwork. He was really supportive, complimented me, was very happy that I came. And I said, look, she's obviously, if you're Jewish, you know about Marlene Dietrich's stand against anti-Semitism and her fight with the Nazis, and he was very happy that I reached out and said, "Look, this is right across from your Shabbat center. What do you think? You know, you're going to be looking at it every day, you know." And so he was very appreciative. And then with the the temple, so I'm interested in sort of the community, and within the feed is like there is this Holocaust survival. The survivor. There's this Holocaust survivor who's going to be speaking at the temple in the community. And so I didn't really even know where the temple was located. So I looked and I went online, and to be a part of this presentation, to listen to this woman speak, you had to be a member of the temple. So I joined up. It was free to join, and I became a member of our local temple here. And so I will see if we can get it while I'm streaming. That looks like Google Earth is a little bit over here. There we go. I just need to be patient. So I went, and the rabbi of the temple, this was so cool. The rabbi of the temple called me up and said, "Hey, I noticed you're a new member. Would you like to have a chat? We'd like to sort of introduce ourselves to everybody who comes into the community." I was like, wow, that is just the coolest thing ever. So I went to the temple. I met with the rabbi, and the same presentation that I'm giving you in terms of Marlene Dietrich and the proposal and so on and so forth, I presented to the rabbi of the temple. And he was like, "Man, this is such great work. I'm so happy to have you a part of our community. You are welcome here, even though you're not Jewish, you're welcome here anytime. Open arms, lots of support, lots of enthusiasm." So I just got this rejection notice a few days ago. And so I'm going to contact the rabbi of the Shabbat Center and of the temple and say, "Hey, man, guess what? I was rejected." And I'm going to say, "Look, they don't know at the arts selection panel I didn't put this as part of the proposal. They don't know that I met with leaders of the community and that I was received and with a tremendous amount of enthusiasm and support. So they don't know this. So I'm going to say, look, selection panel, go ahead and call the rabbi. I saw the rabbi, but we didn't talk Christianity. No, baby. We talked Marlene Dietrich. And so, yeah. And so what's so weird? And so, like, it's very easy to say, "Oh, you were rejected, sour grapes. You're making a big to do about nothing." Well, it's just a little bit weird. I've sort of talked to other leaders in the community. They told me, to my shock, that my project will never see the light of day because Marlene Dietrich, not the rabbis, just other people who are leaders in the art community here, said Marlene Dietrich's too white. Our community is anti-white. Our community is anti-woman. It's pro-trans. And our community is anti-Jewish. And our community is pro-Palestinian, pro-immigrant, pro-illegal immigrant. So I'm like, I was in Europe for a decade, and I just came back to get some administrative work done for my daughter so we can travel back and forth freely. And this is the thing that is just, stone in my thing in my tooth, a stone in my shoe that I don't really find too cool. If you look here, all right, they were supposed to let me know of my rejection. They said the selection was the 6th, and they would notify everybody the 9th. And I know other people who got notified who were going for this mural and who were rejected as well. They got their rejection letter just right on time. It took me to follow up. All right. I followed up, and it wasn't until the 16th that I got a letter back from the director. So somebody on the selection panel contacted me, says, "Thanks for your proposal. We'll let you know." The director, after I made repeated attempts to find out whether the proposal was accepted or not. So it wasn't until the 16th that I found out that my proposal was rejected. So now we're at Monday, had a bunch of work to do this weekend. Now we're at Monday and tomorrow. And so I'm going to contact the rabbis that I spoke to, make sure that they tell me it's okay that I can offer their names and their telephone numbers and email addresses to the director of the selection committee, so she can talk to them, and so maybe I can appeal this decision. And if I lose on appeal, that's going to be, unfortunately, that's going to be good for me twice, because I will have been denied twice. I will be part of that elite group of artists like Van Gogh and Monet and Manet, and not so much Manet, but Renoir, Monet, Degas, all of the Impressionists. They were all told to go screw themselves by the authorities of their day, and so. Where are we in time? Oh, we're at 17 minutes already. All right, so that's good. We'll have more on the saga. So I'm going to continue with my Jewish American History Month. So we're sort of together, really digging into the community, because they talk about systemic racism, and that's usually meant for people of color. But am I witnessing? Is my experience systemic anti-Semitism? Am I uncovering that? And how should I approach that? How much finger pointing should I do? Or should I just say my community is just a bunch of knuckle-dragging, mouth-breathing, backward sort of people, and just let it go and move on, And so that's why this is so great to make these transmissions and talk to everybody. So I think we need to give a quick shout out here to the look at how beautiful she is. This is Microsoft Copilot. I was trying to get Musi d'Orsay. So back in the background there, that's AI's attempt at doing Musi d'Orsay. Chi-Town Burb, art capital of the world, or anti-Semitic grandpa. Let's hope that turns a few heads. So yeah, and I don't, I'm not calling out the community until until the very last rejection notice happens, and it's for sure, because after this, because once this year is over, the connection between Paris and Chicago, the fact that they're approaching women's right to choose two completely different sort of perspectives, that opportunity to make this connection at this time in history will be lost forever. And so it doesn't matter really for me. It just it'll be forever sort of a stain on the community that I grew up in, that they missed this opportunity to make that connection and to offer a artistic expression, or the two sister cities can combine, or France, the country, another city in France, can sort of respond with a mural that talks to the mural that we create here. All right. This was a difficult one. I had to take a nap. So thanks for watching. And we will see you next time the saga continues.